Good morning, friends. My name is Brian Martins, and this is Life with Brian Martins. I want to share a story with you that will lead to something that I also learned. Now, I grew up as a Christian. I grew up as in a Christian home, and we were taught to pray about everything. Commit everything to prayer, right? In fact, we were taught to pray more than even hard work or taking right actions. A particular time in my life, during my youth service, I went to a Christian program with my fellow corps members or corpers at Ibadan, one of those CACs or Riokes, right? One of the CAC mountains. We went for a NCCF, that's Nigerian Christian Corpers Fellowship program. So we were there, we were having, fellowship and then teachings and all. And sorry for that. It was in preparation for our leadership time or our leadership tenure. So it was more of a retreat and stuff like that. So after one of the sessions, I think on the first day or the second day, I can't remember. So I wanted to take a walk around the compound, the church compound. It's actually a church, Christ Apostolic Church, CAC. They have a lot of church compounds, that they call Orioke. So it's normally a large piece of land that has a lot of hills and valleys, and people like to go and pray on the mountain tops for whatever reason. I think it's they are trying to depict, or they're trying to replay or relieve Jesus' going to the mountain to pray, and then they go to a mountain or a sort of a hill to go and pray. So when people say I'm going to a mountain to pray, it's one of those Oriokes, right? Now, I was taking a walk around, and I saw this particular young man. He was looking a little bit haggard, skinny, So he approached me, and he said to me, "Bros, please, can you help me with some money? I want to eat, and something like that." And I said, "Oh, okay, but what are you doing here?" So he said that he came to pray. And I said, "You came to pray?" So I took interest. I said, "For a young man like you, what are you, praying for?" That was a little bit invasive, but I just wanted to know, what he was doing there or what he was praying about. So he started telling me how things have been difficult for him. He doesn't have a job. He graduated from school, so he came to pray so that he can get a job. So I said, "You came to the mountain or the church. So now this kind of prayer is not I entered to the church and pray for like 5 minutes and leave. No, this is he's been there for like 3-4 days, 5 days praying to get a job, right? So you've been in a mountain to pray for 3, 4, 5 days to get a job, because he's been there for like 3 days or 4 days as at the time we are having this discussion. So I said to him, "Don't you think that you are doing, it's not the right thing? You're doing the wrong thing at the right time, or the right thing at the wrong time." I can't remember how I said it to him. But I told him, "Don't you think that you should be going out there to look for jobs, getting the necessary skills that will make you employable, that will make you relevant in a job interview, instead of coming here to pray? Don't you think you might also be thinking about creating a business or starting a business instead of coming here to pray?" So of course he didn't understand my narrative. He was like, "Oh, that God can do it for him, da 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 da." So of course I didn't have any money to give him right at the time, or rather I didn't just feel it was the right investment. I think I finally gave him money. I can't remember, to eat or something. I think I finally gave him money. I think I did. right? But I had to leave him with that knowledge. Now, what am I talking about? In Africa, we have a problem. religion is a challenge. I said religion, I didn't say relationship with God. Now don't get me wrong. Religion, the act of pursuit of God, is a problem in Africa because it blocks off people's creativity. It shields people's mind from thinking beyond their box. Everything is summed in God and in the pursuit of God, in religion. Now, trust me, there is a difference between religion and a relationship with God. They are two different things entirely. And I am probably going to have to explain it in another episode of my podcasts. But what I'm trying to say is you can't be wanting to look for a job. You can't be wanting to look for prosperity. And then you are somewhere praying instead of going out to literally look for the job, looking for the necessary skills that will make you employable. I think there was a United Nations survey or research that stated that a lot of African youths are unemployable, right? Because they don't have the requisite skills that are needed to make them employable. A lot of them. And you see this play out every day. And I personally feel that the biggest undoing of a lot of Africans or people in the third world country is this thing called religion. I didn't say relationship with God. I said religion. Religion, the pursuit of a higher being, the pursuit of a higher power. Especially when you now leave everything into God's hands and God has given you a brain and a mind to be creative, to think, but you want to leave everything into God's hand. Meanwhile, you have a brain, you have a mind to be able to sit down and plot your way out of poverty. Today, my encouragement is, if you are unemployed, it's because you don't have the prerequisite skills that are needed for employment or for entrepreneurship. Now, it might not be as simple as this, but this is the core. So the question is, what can you do? What skill can you get? What type of knowledge do you need to acquire to be able to get what you want to get? So this is the question I'm leaving with you today. This is the inspiration I'm leaving with you today. Start today to begin to look for the necessary skills and knowledge that you need from where you are going to or where you want your life to be. And I think I'm going to do another podcast on about planning your way out, right? Planning your way out of poverty, or planning your way out of penury, or planning your way out of hard times, because you can actually plan your way. A life that does not have a plan is a life that falls for every other plan that is out there. And trust me, people are planning. Somebody is somewhere planning on how they will use you for the rest of your life for their purpose. That is the truth. So today, begin to take the right decisions that will help you to get to where you want to go. It's your boy Perry Martins right here. Thank you for listening to me. Have an amazing day.